Hi, vinyl community. I know I had previously said that I was going to be doing the second part of my jazz collection. I think I'm going to let that wait because I just got inspired to make another video. I'm going to be talking about my David Bowie collection. David Bowie was kind of the first really true obsession I had, the first time I had ever just really gotten attached to an artist, to their music, and really just, I don't know. I'll ramble if I try to explain it too much, but David Bowie is very important to me. A mentor of mine that I had throughout high school, just really put me on to David Bowie, and I figured I would talk about all of my David Bowie stuff in a video. I do have a ton of David Bowie CDs up on the shelf. Not going to be showing those because it's mostly just all the studio albums. I do have like the Japanese CD of Hours. I have the Deluxe Reality, I think. Coffee. But I'm going to go through the record. So I'm going to start here with a little bit of the odd stuff. This is Hunky Dory, obviously. I bought this, I didn't buy it, I was given this at a record store in Atlanta. Saw it sitting there on the counter. Said, hey, oh my god, how much for that? He was like, why don't you just take it? Because it snapped, which sucks. But, you know, I took this home for me. This is one of the only records I've ever framed. I framed Sticky Fingers a little while ago because I got the reissue of that and it sounds really good. But this is one of the only records I've ever framed. Used to have the inner sleeve with it. I donated that to a friend because he found a Hunky Dory that did not have the inner sleeve. And then after that, this is something I bought right before he died, I believe. This is the Sound and Vision CD box set. This is the superior version of Sound and Vision, in my opinion. And I think where people sort of get Sound and Vision wrong is that this is not a greatest hits. This is supposed to sort of give you like the oddities and stuff, a lot of alternate versions, single versions, which is one of my favorite things, because those singles from the early era are just impossible to find. But yeah, so that's the oddities, so let's just go into the main records right here. This is a 2014 reissue of the self-titled album. And I bought it because it had the artwork from the original release. I don't think I'm ever gonna own an original one of these. I keep my eye on Man of Words, Made of Music. That floats around $200. That's a lot, but if I see it dip down, I might just pull a Happy Woman Blues and empty my bank account. But yeah, I am looking out for Man of Words, Made of Music. That is a great sounding pressing. This is the US version of it. Doesn't have the poster, sadly. This is called Space Oddity, but it's just the self-titled album. I'm sure this is the one that everyone has seen a million times. Orange RCA label. Really good album, underrated. Really like Unwashed and Somewhat Slightly Dazed. That's a good Bowie deep cut. Next up, this is my actual copy of Hunky Dory, which reminds me, the only RCA studio album I don't have is Man Who Sold the World, which I'm looking for. I'll get it, eventually. Hunky Dory. Just amazing, wonderful. Not a whole lot to really say about Hunky Dory. Not a whole lot to say about any of these. Hunky Dory was one that it took a little bit to grow on me because I guess I just wasn't expecting it to be so folky. I was a lot more familiar with the glam stuff and the Berlin stuff, of course, but this album really is fantastic. It has some underrated songs. I don't know how people don't like Kooks. Just the most fun song ever. Okay, well that doesn't want to go in. I'll fix that in a second. Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. I got this in, this is the, oh god, it was one of the first records I ever bought right when I got a record player, started collecting vinyl. Got this in 2013. This is a black RCA pressing. I'll get an orange one eventually, but this one just means a lot to me because getting this for me was such, I don't know, it was such a turning point. I remember thinking, that's the one I gotta have. Nobody's got that on vinyl. And it was before it had gotten reissued and everything. There was still a magic to collecting vinyl before I realized it was a money sink. I love collecting vinyl, I'm joking around. But yeah, Ziggy Stardust, just simply lovely, fantastic. And then here, hands down, favorite Bowie album. One of the most important albums in my life. Aladdin Sane. Don't listen to it as much anymore because, I mean, obviously if it was so important to me, I probably wore it out. But just fantastic. This is the one that my old mentor just completely sold me on all the way, and I've got a pretty grand attachment to it. I've got the CD, I've got the deluxe CD, I got the cassette tape. I'm looking for the 8-track. The 8-track is kind of expensive, I think. But yeah, Aladdin Sane, just my heart and soul. Favorite Bowie album, hands down. Next up, also probably one of the most underrated ones, Pin-Ups. I don't know how people don't go fucking nuts for this thing. It is so good. Rosalind, Here Comes the Night, See Emily Play. Hearing Bowie do Pink Floyd? What the hell? How do you not love this? Friday on My Mind. Oh my god. Friday on My Mind. It's a covers album, so what? It's amazing. And this is the last one with Mick Ronson, I think. But yeah, please don't sleep on Pin-Ups. Oh god, it's so good. Next up, Diamond Dogs. Oh my god, this album is great. Diamond Dogs was such a grower for me. Because I guess, you know, it's structured kind of weird where you've got the two singles and then you've got a slow song like Sweet Thing and then you just have a Sweet. And it's odd, but it's just amazing. Definitely one of my favorites, probably top 5. But also, my favorite Bowie song ever is the alternate version of Candidate, the sort of early version of it. It's basically a completely different song, but it's on the Ryko disc reissue of Diamond Dogs. So please first of all, get every Ryko disc version of the David Bowie albums on CD, and then listen to the alternate version of Candidate. That's another thing. Those Ryko discs, just the bonus tracks. Oh my god. David Live. I mean, I love it. Everyone hates it, but I fucking love David Live. Because, I mean, maybe it's because it sounds so bad that kind of seals it for me. This is another one that I believe I got right before he died. But yeah, David Live. Lots of fun. I mean, its reputation is not good, but it's enjoyable. Also, one of the most underrated Bowie albums, Young Americans. Just magical. When the title track, Take Me Away. Take Me Away. The Across the Universe, hearing John Lennon on Fame. I don't even like Fame that much, and I still love Fame. Young Americans, go for it. First pressing, I think. I don't think it would be on the orange one, tan label. Next, Station to Station. another one of the first Bowie albums I got on vinyl. I got this for cheap. I got this on eBay for like $6. It is in fantastic condition. I know this is definitely seen as one of the classics. I love it as well. I think it's got more connection to young Americans than it does to the Berlin stuff, though. Besides maybe the intro to the title track on this. And the mythology behind this is pretty exciting as well. Station to Station. I haven't listened to that one in a while. And then The Monolith. Low. It's as good as everybody says it is. I don't know what the hell else to say. Fantastic. Eno-fied. This is maybe my favorite of the Berlin trilogy. I think I've said all of them are my favorite Berlin album at some point, but I think probably this one is my favorite. The ambient ones on this one I think are better than the ones on Heroes. But they're different. I mean, they're different albums, different vibes. Really, really good album, though. Has also one of my favorite Bowie songs on it, Be My Wife. Big Be My Wife head. Always crashing in the same car. Heroes! This is a... I don't know. I've tried to figure out which pressing this is. Like a million times. The inner sleeve is in Japanese. And the label... it's just weird. Maybe I'll take pictures of it and make a post in the VC, and some of you super sleuths can help me out with that one. But yeah, I've probably said that Heroes is my favorite of them at some point, and has some of my favorite Bowie songs on it. Blackout. Whew. I've tried to learn how to sing that weird vocal run he does in Blackout a million times, and I can't do it. It's really hard. But yeah, Heroes. Fantastic. And then finally, probably my first love, or actually no, we're not there yet. We got another one. Got ahead of myself. Stage. Love, love, love Stage. A lot of people say it's a bit clean. And I can agree with that. But it's exciting. It's exciting to hear a lot of these songs in a different context, you know, to hear all of the Berlin stuff live, then also hear these sort of robotic versions of the Ziggy Stardust material. This is not a bad live album at all, and this is the only Bowie fan club insert I have. I'm trying to get more of them. But yeah. Stage, and then this is my first love of the Berlin stuff. This, I think, is the first Ryko disc I ever got by Bowie. Lodger. So good. So poppy. Fun, exciting. This is the last studio album I got, actually, which is weird. It's the first CD I got, but the last studio album I got on vinyl. Yeah, amazing. Fantastic Voyage is one of the best openers of all time. Look Back in Anger is what prompted me to read one of my new favorite stage plays of all time, Look Back in Anger. So yeah, just fantastic. Don't sleep on Lodger. It's pretty underrated. Yeah. They don't stop. The hits don't stop. Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. New wavy. Post-punkified. Poppy as hell. Just amazing. This is the second one I got. Second Bowie I got on vinyl. I got this on my birthday in 2013. On my birthday in 2013. Purchased this bad boy. Coffee. Yeah. Also has some of my favorites on it. It's No Game. Ashes to Ashes. Kingdom Come. Teenage Wildlife. Even though Teenage Wild... there's one of them that sounds just like Heroes, and everyone talks about it. But this album is amazing. The great Bowie Swan Song. And then here, I think this is the last thing he ever did on RCA. David Bowie and Bertolt Brecht's Bow. I never listened to it, but I have it. I listened to it once, and I was like, okay, I don't ever need to hear that again. Yeah, David Bowie and Bertolt Brecht's Ball. And then... Let's Dance. This is the last of... the only other one I have left is one of the newer albums. But like a lot of people, I'm just not crazy about this. Modern Love is one of my favorite Bowie songs ever. And I do like Cat People. I think China Girl is garbage. I think Let's Dance is annoying. And everything else I just kind of can't remember. But Modern Love is amazing. Yeah, I'm just not crazy about this. And the thing is, I kind of like the two after this more because they've kind of got a charm to them. You know, they're not great, but I think it's one of those things where I was just happy that they existed. And I think the Glass Spider Tour is where most of the older folks that saw him live that I know got to see him, saw him on Glass Spider. But yeah, Let's Dance. And then finally, The Clear Black Star. On my birthday, the year that this came out, 2016, I think. Yeah, it was 2016, because that was the year that the Danny Brown album came out. I can't remember the day that this came out, because I don't want to say that I got this on my birthday, but I got it around my birthday. This was before I could drive. I called my dad. I said, hey, the new David Bowie album came out today. Barnes & Noble's got like a clear one. You know, could you scoot by there and pick that up for me? I'll just pay you back when you get home. And he was like, yeah, sure. Got it home. Opened it up. Didn't play it. I peeked at it. I remember it had a parental advisory sticker on it. And the packaging for it is just immaculate. It's amazing. This is when I got this, it was the inaugural album for the first time I had ever bought a new turntable cartridge. I got a Shure M44-7. I invited my buddy Evan over because Evan is, besides my mentor from high school, probably the biggest David Bowie fan I know, besides me. Invited him over. We gave it a spin together. And I had thought that he was sick. Seeing all the Lazarus stuff, I had thought that he was sick. I'd had my suspicions. It was just odd. And hearing I Can't Give Everything Away. You see, the other songs, I didn't think of them like death songs. Like Black Star, I had seen the music video for Black Star. I was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. He's headed in this direction. But I heard I Can't Give Everything Away, and I just thought, like, he's sick. He has to be sick. That's a song you write when you're sick. I listened to it with my buddy Evan, and I was like, yeah, I like it. I think I like The Next Day a little more. And Evan went home, and the next morning, or not the next morning, the morning after, when I went back to school after winter break, I get a text at 4 a.m. from my teacher, mentor. It was just a text it was a group message with me and another teacher, and it just said, no. I didn't know, and then I got a text from Evan, 5:30 a.m., with just a link to an article, and, threw on Ziggy Stardust, hopped in the shower, just with a broken heart, went downstairs to my dad, and just cried it out. Had to cry it all out. since then, Bowie's just been a really big part of my life. I'm a big David Bowie fan. I know that there are a lot of issues, probably a lot of accountability things that are in the discourse right now with David Bowie. And I think that's important. But he changed my life. One of my favorite musicians. And VC, if you've been watching this far, thank you for watching me chronicle my Bowie records and my love of him. Cheers. Coffee.